Assalamualaikum everyone. Today in this video, we have to discuss about resource curse. Is it true for Bangladesh? Resource curse. The resource is a term used to describe a paradoxical situation in which a country with an abundance of natural resources having less economic growth, less democracy or worse development outcomes than countries with fewer natural resources. The resource curse may also be called the resource trap or the paradox of balancing. According to the resource curse, natural resource and economic growth vary inversely. As the amount of natural resource increases, the rate of economic growth falls.
Resource refers to all the materials available in our environment, which help us to satisfy our needs and wants. Resources can broadly be classified upon their availability. A country may have various resources like coal, natural gas, minerals, as well as man capital. How resources become scarce? The surprisingly negative outcomes in oil and mineral dependent countries are referred to as the resource curse. Natural resource abundance does therefore hinder economic growth in countries with labor-friendly institutions, but does not in countries with producer-friendly institutions. Many countries rich in natural resources exploit and squander that wealth to re-enrich a minority, while corruption and mismanagement leave the majority impoverished.
Causes of resource curse. The resource curse mainly occurs when a country begins to focus all of its production means on a single industry, such as mining or oil production, and neglects investment in other major sectors. At times, the resource curse can also result from government corruption. Resource abundance does not automatically ensure sustainable development. For many countries, resource become scarce. Resource scarce phenomenon is now a real issue. Militarization, war, and conflict have been closely linked with grabbing energy resource. Corruption, poverty, inequality, repression go together with natural resource for many countries, increasing deregulated investment on speculation of oil and mineral resource, create artificial crisis and more distorted market. Now we can show the cycle of resource curse.
And in resource-scarce countries, on average, countries which started the period with a high value of resource-based exports to GDP tended to experience slower growth during the following 20 years. In Saudi Arabia, whose proven crude oil reserves are the greatest in the world, real per capita income has plunged from $28,600 in 1981 to $6,800 in 2001, increased again with high price of oil in 2008. In Nigeria and Venezuela, real per capita income has decreased to the level of the 1960s, while many other countries, Algeria, Angola, Congo, Ecuador, Gabon, Iraq, Kuwait, Qatar, and Trinidad Tobago are back to the level.
A country of potential and poverty. The area of Bangladesh is 1,48,460 square kilometer. It has huge population that is more than 150 million. Most of the land of Bangladesh are fertile. Agriculture is the main livelihood. Bangladesh has a rich water system and biodiversity, river, canals, ponds and wetlands. It has also oil, gas resource in onshore and offshore, coal in north of country, but it trapped in poverty and vulnerability.
Resources in Bangladesh. Bangladesh has not struck oil and abundant natural gas reserve is actually rather puny compared to the world, 0.001%. We also don't have other natural resource for big time export. Bangladesh found oil in the form of abundant and inexhaustible source of cheap labor from its people. For more than 2 decades, the Bangladesh economy has been standing on the twin pillars of garments, export and foreign remittance.
From discussion, the question arises, resource curse, is it true for Bangladesh? The answer is yes, it is true. In the financial year 2016-17, the garments industry generated $28.14 billion USD, which was 80.7% of the total export earnings in exports and 12.36% of the GDP, which is a very sobering indicator of a very unbalanced economy. More than 10 million migrants from Bangladesh who sent close to 18 billion USD remittance in 2019. As we can see, our economy is mostly dependent on garment sector and remittance. Other potential resources are being neglected. So it is clear that we are facing resource curse in Bangladesh. Thank you so much for watching our video.